And welcome back again. Thanks for joining me. I've had a request about one of our new kits that we've had been selling not very long, a few weeks. It's nearly the new year, nearly 2025. That shows my age because I can't remember how old I am or what year it is. Anyway, what I'm doing today, what I'm looking at today, is a mini gardening set, which is this one here. A tiny little spade and a tiny little trowel for potting in the greenhouse. You can see this is the kit, and I will open it now, show you what's inside and then how we go about doing it. The ferrules are slightly different on this, as is the design of the tank. They're kind of folded and pointy. You'll see that when I get them out of the packet. Let's have a look down there. Okay, so I've left the packet there so you can see what they are, but we've got a little spade there and a little trowel. These are for greenhouses, for potting. There are 2 ferrules and 2 of our little stainless steel end caps. All the parts are stainless steel here. And normally when I do a handle kit, I'll pick a like one of our handle blanks, which are around about 30-35 millimeters square. But because these are small, and I had a couple of pen blanks, I'm actually going to use pen blanks for these. These are not, I don't know, probably about 100 mils these are, something like that. Hang on. You have to bear with me. I've tidied up my workshop, so if I wander off, it means I can't find something. I can, however, find the ruler. Right, where we go. They're just over 100 mils on there, but well, I don't know, 19 mils, 20 mils square, something like that. These are just a couple of spare bits I had, so I'm going to drill either end on the lathe, and I'll show you how I do that, and then we'll look at putting them together. Now the tangs on these are, as I said, if I hold it up there, where can you see? There we go. If I hold that up there, you'll see they're kind of an odd shape, but I think I have made these before, but I can't remember. Obviously we've tested them because I test everything. A 9mm hole, but they splay out at the end, so it's not absolutely critical. You know, they'll go on so far. They do need to be glued at the end, but first of all we'll do the turning. So we need a hole at this end, and I think it's a 5mm hole at this end for the little end caps, and then we'll be able to turn them between centres. It's pretty straightforward. I've measured the tang, and I'm going to start off by drilling 20mm into the centre with a 9mm drill at this end, not too fast. Right, let's turn it on, that would help, wouldn't it? I think it's that one. Yep, the light is glowing. I got some horrible wobble on that. I should have used the centre finder first. Let me just check the length of that. Now I've got to find a tool for that. So I've got 9mm hole, 20 mils deep at this end. Please, however, check your kit specifications change, and you never know, you might get a kit that's slightly different, so it's worth always checking. I'm now going to do 5mm for the end cap in the other end there. Guess what? 5mm drill is the only one I haven't got in my packet. You'll have to bear with me. Centres as much as I can centre it. I'm now going to do 5mm hole in this end. That's for the little end cap. So we've got 9 mils that end, 5 mils that end. Now we can turn between centres and size up for the ferrule at the end that's got the largest hole. And what you also need to do is make sure the ends of your blank are level as well, otherwise nothing will fit quite right. Now I've measured my ferrule, which it's about 15mm, so I'm going to lock my calipers off at that and turn this end to the right distance, which I'm going to put, hang on, I've got to find a pencil. Right, here we go. So I'm going to mark on here where it needs to be done to, on there. Let's just make sure that's clearly marked all the way around. So it needs to be 15mm at this end here, and then it's just a question of shaping and finishing, sticking the bits together. So I've cut for my ferrule, I've got it between centres, as you'll see, not too tight, not too loose. If you go over tight, potentially you'll split the wood at this end. You need it on quite a high speed, otherwise it will stall. If you don't have a dead centre, we do sell them, but if you don't have one, you can just make yourself a pointy bit of wood in a chuck. That will do the same job, and to a degree it will actually hold the wood better than the metal. The metal's quite slippery. Another piece of wood inside tends to grip a little bit more. So now all I got to do is just finish shaping, sanding, whatever I want to do with this, and then we'll put it together. And of course the other thing that I've done is do it twice. There we go, these are both oak. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to show you me gluing, because I've tried to do this before, and trying to watch what I'm doing gluing and monitor the camera as to what it's filming and what it isn't filming generally means I make an awful mess. I use, and I'm not advertising, we don't sell glue, I use Gorilla Glue. I use a 2-part epoxy, and you need to get some down the handles here, because the last thing you want is moisture getting in here and getting stuck in there. You need to stop it, and you need to make a permanent fix for the tangs in there as well. So 2-part epoxy in these bits, and in the other bits. You only need a tiny amount in here, but I would suggest that you assemble them this way up to save the 2-part epoxy falling out, or you can wait till it's partially set for the final fix and tap the handles onto the blade if you're holding it in a vise or something like that. So basically what I'm going to do now is just a dry run to show you how they go together. So here's our first handle. Bit of paper on there. All I've done, the only finish I put on here is sanding sealer. Obviously it's up to you what you do with that. So the ferrule goes over there, and then the tang pushes in, I say, really as far as you like. It's pretty firm, even just without the glue, but as I say, the glue needs to be in there. You could put it in afterwards, because it's actually quite a big hole down there if you've got something to squirt it in with. So that's that end, and we can then glue in out of the little end there. And if we wanted to, you could drill a hole in the side for a bit of string or something like that, twine, to hang them up in the greenhouse. But that's one finished kit, and we'll get the other one just to show you. Where are we? I've got it all. Oh, right, let's get it the right way round. So ferrule on there, that is going to fall out without glue with that 5mm hole. Save me dropping it. Let's put it in there. And there we go. We're just going to push this blade inside there. There we go. And as I say, there's quite a gap. You might be able to get some glue down the back after the blade is actually in. Glue that bit in there, and then we have 1, 2 finished. There we go. I will go and glue those off camera. So as always, there we go, finished kits there. You can see the size of them. These made with just pen blanks, so as I said before, about 100mm long and about 19mm square. They're about the right size for the things. They're quite nice little things. These will be going to Mrs. Prokraft for a greenhouse, and see what she can grow me for next year. So I hope that's useful. I'll take a quick snap of those, pop them on the end of the video, and on the website, so you can see, as we normally do, the kits we've had. This is what they look like in the packet. That's what you can do with them. It's pretty simple. I've put a little design on the end there, but there's really not much to it, but still quite good fun. So I hope that helps, and until next time, enjoy your wood turning, enjoy your workshops, do it safely of course, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.